I call the next part of the Dinner Special podcast the pressure cooker. I'm going to ask you 7 fast and fun questions that we want to know your answers to. Are you up for it?
I'm so nervous right now. This is like the SATs.
Well, I mean, please feel free to take your time. There's no pressure to this pressure cooker whatsoever.
Pressure cooker with a soft touch.
Right.
I like it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Number 1, which food shows or cooking shows do you watch?
I am embarrassed to tell you that I do not watch any food shows.
Okay.
The one that I used to watch, though, when I was in high school, which is not on anymore, but I loved it, was the Sarah Moulton show. And I am blanking on what the show was even called, but it was so informative, and I just loved listening to her voice. So I'll say that in the 1990s, I was all about Sarah Moulton.
Okay, perfect. Number 2, what are some food blogs or food websites we have to know about?
Well, if you've never seen my friend Peabody's website, it is called Culinary Concoctions by Peabody. And this is like my sister from another mister. Like, if there's a delicious, indulgent dessert, it is probably on this website. Even indulgent desserts that you've probably never even thought of, they're on this website, man. And so I really, really highly suggest that one. And I also think that there's a lot of great foodie stuff on craftsy.com, which is actually a website that I write for. That was how I first was exposed to them, but they have a lot of great food content on there. So I'm often checking them out. And let's see if I can give you one more. Oh, hi. I also, the hi was to my pug. I also love Serious Eats, which is another website which I previously contributed to, but that's not why I suggest it. I just think that they always do a really great job. So I love reading what they have to say. Oh, and another one that I always get a lot of great information from is the King Arthur Flour blog. And now I don't know if you pronounce it flourish or flourish, but it's like a pun. But they always have great information that gets into the nitty-gritty of the process of baking. So I always really enjoy, if there's a recipe that is on their blog, I really feel like I get a full story from their site.
Perfect. Number 3, who do you follow on, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, or Snapchat that make you happy?
I follow this one called the Purple Pug that posts pug pictures and also party ideas, which the party ideas are wonderful and inspiring, but the pugs are my main draw. Like, you put a pug in a costume and I am on it, man. I love my friend, the domestic rebel, Haley. She posts a lot of really delicious photos. So she's always inspiring me. And oh my goodness, I love following Big Gay Ice Cream. If you're familiar with them.
Yes.
It's an ice cream company, but they post, like ice cream and unicorns and funny pop culture. So basically, they've won my heart.
Great. Number 4, what is the most unusual or treasured item you have in your kitchen?
Good question. Honestly, I would say, even though it's like maybe about 6 feet away from my kitchen, I think that my unicorn collection really sets my baking area apart from others.
Perfect. Number 5, name one ingredient you used to dislike that you now love.
Ooh, that's a good one. Can it be sweet or savory?
Yeah, it could be either or.
Okay, because you know that I identify as sweets, but I would say tomatoes. When I was little, I had a real problem with, as I called it, tomato thingies. Like, if I got a slice of pizza and it was the kind of sauce that wasn't totally pureed, that had maybe little bits of tomato skin in it, I could not abide by it. I just like could not do it. I would like not eat it. But now I'm like, oh my God, tomato everything.
Yeah.
So I've had a real turnaround with that one.
A full 180.
Yeah.
Okay, number 6. What are a few cookbooks that make your life better?
Probably my favorite cookbook on earth, aside from my own, is the Betty Crocker Cookie Book. And this is the early 1960s edition where cookie is spelled Cooky. And this book, you can easily find it on Amazon. They have, they've reissued it, but it's wire bound. And I just love this book. It's got all sorts of cookies, but it's got these adorable head notes like Mrs. Martin Flowers of Omaha likes to make these cookies when she's not attending to her hat collection or things like that. So it's like very amusing, very telling of a different era. And it's got those kind of like weird Technicolor photos. So I love that book.
Perfect.
I also love, any King Arthur Flower book. I always love their books. I love all of the cookbooks by the proprietors of Baked, the Brooklyn Bakery. And I also have a deep love of any of those kind of self-published church cookbooks, or like the type of things that like ladies auxiliary committees will do. Those cookbooks are my favorite. I love those.
Great. And finally, number 7, what song or album just makes you want to cook?
That's a really good one too. I feel all right, so in art school, I felt like anything Velvet Underground made me want to create art. But I feel like for me, it's got to be like good oldies to make me want to cook. So that could be like Bob Dylan or I'll stick with Bob Dylan, like Blood on the Tracks or like the Tangled Up in Blue kind of era.
Perfect. Well, congratulations, Jessie. You have officially survived the pressure cooker.
Woo!